Hey, how's it going, guys? Struggle here. This video is going to be targeted towards you modifying your vehicles. For those who you see these lifted trucks everywhere. You see them everywhere. It's been quite a fad for these past 2 years. I mean, it's been happening, but recently just exploded the last 2 years as far as us guys modifying our trucks. I recently just got rid of my truck. The reason why, you probably think, why, you had a truck, you did. If you don't know, you do know. I had a truck. It was a Chevy Tahoe, 6-inch lift. I started off with, what was it, 20 by 12s on 35s. And sad to say, my truck was stolen. I got it back. Of course, it was missing the wheels and tires. So I upgraded and got, was it 22? It was 22s by 12s. And no, it was 20 by 12s again, but it was on 33-inch all-terrain tires. And then later on, I upgraded one last time to 22s by 12s on 35s, so 6-inch lift. It was pretty good. I'll do some stuff to it here and there, got it painted and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I realized that the vehicle I had, Tahoe, and they do have Tahoes in all-wheel drive, 4x4s, but mine didn't have that. It was an LT, so mine didn't have that. So what I found out on my third wheel and tire upgrade, that my front end got destroyed. And for some, it's like, well, you should have got the parts switched out before you did that. I did the first time. I didn't do it the first time. It was just something real quick I wanted to do. I was really excited to get it done right away, and I did it. And the second time I got my second wheel and tire upgrade, I changed out the whole front end, the entire front end, the wheel bearings, the shocks, everything, the control arms, all that. I completely changed out the entire, even I upgraded the power steering pump. So I got all that switched out. And on my third upgrade with the 22s by 12 on 35s, and all of a sudden, and I got this, I did the upgrade, the second and third upgrade, I did that within 6 months. I think it was 6 months in between. So yeah, I sold the second pair, and I immediately got the third pair. It was like within 6 months. Like I didn't even have the second pair for not even for a year. I had it for like, I want to say 6 months. I literally had it for 6 months, and it was a great setup. No, that pair didn't have any what is it, road rash on the wheels. But yeah, so I didn't even have that set up for 6 months. So I sold it for a great deal, got it bought off, and I immediately upgraded to the 22 by 12 35s. So anyway, yeah, so I had the third setup for like, I don't even know. I want to say for like 5 months, maybe 6. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, while I was driving, my steering wheel just started going crazy. And I'm like, man, I hope it's not a flat tire. But checked it out, it wasn't a flat tire. And of course, took it to the alignment shop, and lo and behold, they told me my front end the suspension was destroyed. I'm like, impossible. I just got that switched out 6 months ago. It wasn't even a solid 8 months after I got all that switched out. So I'm like, it can't be. They're like, oh, they probably, like, nah, they switched it out. I know the guy who did the work, switched it out. He wouldn't do me dirty like that. Come on, front end suspension, it's pretty pricey. So that guy's not gonna switch out the front end, especially how much this stuff costs. It's very expensive. Granted, it's not a 4x4, but still, like I literally, like I told you, I switched out the entire front end. So the labor and stuff kicks in too. But anyway, so like, no, it wasn't that. He was like, I don't know, man. It's just everything's just messed up. Upper, lower control arm, tie rod, all that stuff. And I'm like, man, what the hell? So I'm thinking the shop screwed me over, but come to realize, it's like, I took my mechanic, and he's like, man, I told you not to, get all these aftermarket parts on this truck, not to get a lift, blah, blah. He did tell me that years ago. I didn't listen. You're not going to listen. You really want something, you're going to get it done regardless of who tells you what or what the outcome may be. So, yeah, that was the case. Yeah, so the parts, they weren't even 8 months old yet. So, yeah, that would happen. What caused that is, like, again, what I'm getting back to is that tire wheel setup is not recommended. You don't supposed to do that. Simple fact is, it's not a 4x4. If it was a 4x4, I would have been okay. But if you have a two-wheel drive, don't do it. I know a lot of people are going to hate me. They're going to embarrass me in the comment section or whatever. They already have the same setup I have. So, if you do, oh well, it's a matter of time. But I didn't realize that my front tires, like, why are my front tires going bad so quick? I hardly, at that time, I hardly drove that truck. I literally drove the truck back forward to work. I probably drove it, the longest I ever drove it was like, the farthest I ever drove was maybe like 50 miles in a day, maybe. If I just, like, if I'm off or whatever on the weekend, that's like rare I would drive it that far. I literally drove it within the day. I'll probably drive it, man, I literally probably drove that thing not even 10 miles a day on average, because I'm at work, I'm not doing anything after work, nothing crazy, I'm going to the grocery store, something like that, but everything was close by. Everything was within a 3-mile radius, 4-mile radius from my job was real close. My old job I left was like maybe 2 miles away, maybe like a mile and a half away from me, from where I stayed. Okay, the grocery store, any restaurants I typically go to or whatever. If I decided to go like shopping or something like that, everything was like within a 4-mile radius from me. So I literally never drove 10 miles a day. I literally just kept it under. So, the tires, you can just imagine, that setup was practically new. So whoever I sold it to, the guy I sold it to, he's like jumping for joy. Guy still, so. And even my last set, it's like, bro, like, these things have little miles, like tiny miles on it or whatever. So, but yeah, that causes, you have the excess weight, the lift kit, so threw everything kind of off. And some people like, oh, you should have went to, I got a rough country kit, but some people are like, oh, you shouldn't have got a rough country. Like, whatever, you can say whatever, but that's still defeats the fact that it was a 2-wheel drive. I really believe you can put any kind of suspension on there, but if it's a 2-wheel drive, it's a matter of time until your stuff gets jacked up. So you need that 4x4 to enhance the security with your setup, man. Because if you got the differential, the drivetrain in the front and the back, it's going to pretty much keep it stable. But and I also, not to drag this video along, but I also noticed when I was driving, like, it's gonna make them, if you have all-terrain tires, you don't want mud tires. We get mud tires, whatever. But if you get all-terrain tires, that's what you want to get, because it's gonna keep it, it's in the middle, between regular street tires and off-road tires. So you really want the all-terrain tires or whatever. So anyway, I had all-terrain tires, and I noticed it'll make this guy right here, he's passing me up right now in that floor. He has 2-wheel drive also, just like me, but I would show you if I'm driving, but I noticed that my front will make a weird noise. It's gonna make a noise when you're on the road, but it made like a different noise. Like, okay, I don't think it's gonna sound like that. So come to find out, when I was selling my tires, I realized the tires in the front were worn out. Were worn out pretty good compared to the rear. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And that's what it was. It was a constant vibration going side to side that made that noise. Again, I didn't have that differential on the front to secure the tires. So you don't have that many components in the front just to hold that tire in place. If you don't, it's going to cause it to move side to side, and that's when you're going to get that weird noise. It's a certain noise that you're going to hear. It is something that you just have to have. You just have to have that setup for you to understand what particular noise you're going to actually that you're actually going to hear, to where it's like, okay, that's normal, to where it's like, wait a minute, that don't sound too good. So I was getting like a wobbly noise, more of a wobbly noise than just a regular, tires just on the pavement. So that's what it was. I'm like, so again, I didn't have much parts in the front, and it's not as strong as far as the rear. It's not as strong. It's more more loose. I don't say more loose, but it's not so stiff. It's like it's pretty loose. It actually really is. It's pretty loose, so it causes it to go side to side. That made my tires wear out even more. I'm like, what the hell? I'm not even driving that like that. Like I told you, I don't even drive 10 miles a day. So while my tires, worn, like I drove 20,000 miles. So it was that too. So yeah. So I mean, sad to say, if you have a two-wheel drive, don't get a 6-inch lift. Don't get these huge tires. If anything, don't get the setup I had. 22 about the 12 about on 35 all terrain. So if anything, I guess that first setup I had, the 20s on 35s, or really not even that. If you're gonna do it, you're not gonna like it, but this is kind of so it won't really destroy your front end. I'll get I wouldn't even get 20s. I'd get like 18s and on 35, something like that. This so it won't be so much weight up front, but overall I wouldn't even do it. It's really for 4x4 trucks. If you have a two-wheel drive, hey man, it's your vehicle. I'm not telling you what to do with your money or your vehicle. It's your vehicle, but I'm just telling you, be prepared to continuously change out those ball bearings, the upper lower control arms, all that stuff. If you don't get jacked up, you're not gonna make it every year. You're gonna have serious maintenance, and that stuff is expensive. So you get that done twice within a year and a half, you're just blowing money. So I wouldn't even do that to myself. Again, don't get me wrong, I had a great experience with the vehicle. I loved it. I had a lot of people turning heads, me driving that vehicle, especially when I got the bigger wheel and tire set. It was great. Don't get me wrong, it was great. The vehicle served its purpose, but then again, it's an older vehicle, real old vehicle. So I pretty much drove until the wheels fell off literally. So I had a great time with the vehicle, picking up hot chicks and all that stuff. Just doing stuff like that. Stuff that come with a nice looking vehicle. So it was cool. But would I do it again? Not with a two-wheel drive. If I do it again, it would be 35s on like 18, something like that. If a 6-inch lift, I don't know. I'll probably do a leveling kit. Keep it simple. I'll change out the gears. I'll upgrade the suspension. The shocks and stuff like that. But I wouldn't do it just like I did before. It was cool, don't get wrong, but at the end of the day, it was pretty inconvenient at times. I really couldn't go to any parking garages. Yeah, good luck with that. I had to scrape my roofs up plenty of times, so that sucked. So you're very limited on where you can go, especially, if you go somewhere like this more compact, like downtown area. Downtown area is not even made for, trucks, let alone regular vehicles. You gotta have pretty much compact vehicles to go downtown and park and be realistic. It's really for people to walk or ride bikes. It's not really just made for people to be driving their cars like that. But yeah, it became very inconvenient to worry about hitting curves and stuff like that. Got road rash on the rims. So it was cool. It just, but yeah, I had fun. I did everything I wanted to do with it. It was great, but that was a hard lesson for me to learn. Like, man, that was a pretty ticket for me to have to repair, and for me to come off was it? I don't even know. Like, was it $1,900 for the front suspension? And for me to turn back around, not even 8 months later, and then pay another $1,800. So that sucked, so it was good, until I had to figure it out. But everything's not it's not forever, and I'm fine with that. But I'm just giving the people who's probably thinking about it right now, or who's in that situation right now. If I was you, I'll just, don't put these big old wheels and tires on your two-wheel drive. If me personally, I wouldn't even do it, even though I did it. But people that's thinking about it, I wouldn't even do it. Don't even do it. We get you a 4x4. If you're gonna do that, then but you probably don't want to. You probably not make that much money or whatever. You probably don't want to, go get another vehicle. I get it, but it's not worth it, because at the end of the day, you know, all the fun you're gonna have in the vehicle, whatever like that, the expense is gonna come back on, and gonna kick you in the butt, and you're gonna be upset like, oh, you know, then you gotta really come out some money. You gotta repair, you gotta do a second repair again, especially it hasn't even lasted years. You gotta turn around and do the repair again. So it's like that's a lot of money, man. So it's a lot of money, period, with maintenance. Because the more stuff you add to the vehicle, the more problems you're gonna have later on. So, but yeah, so if you're in the, again, a two-wheel drive truck or SUV or whatever with these, you know, lift kits like that, you're gonna hear a weird wobbling noise. It's not normal. It's different between a normal, you know, all-terrain tire or mud tire. It's different. You're gonna feel it, and your steering wheel is gonna feel kind of weird. That's the wobble is doing. Very dangerous. So especially if you haven't upgraded your front end suspension, it's very dangerous. At any given moment, and I've seen it before. I've seen guys who just get these trucks, they don't do any, you know, raggedy trucks, they don't do any maintenance on it, and they want to slap these big old rims and tires on there. I seen a guy, he was in the turning lane. His tire, he had like 26, something crazy. I'm like, I don't know about all that, man. He had an old truck, you know, you can tell he don't take care of it, but he desperately wanted to put these wheels, you know, wheels and tires on there. So anyway, he was in the turn lane, and his driver's side front tire fell off. Like, you see the tire, it was like, it was face down. I'm like, God dang, I'm glad, you know, it didn't happen. He was just on the road. He would have, yeah. So luckily that didn't happen. But, you know, again, if you do something like that, you got an older vehicle, you got to upgrade these parts, man. That's just the beginning. Anybody can get a wheel and tire package. You go to some Joe Smo, mom and pop shop or whatever, they got deals or whatever, you can go payment plans or whatever like that. Yeah, but that's just the beginning. You have to change, you have to upgrade the front suspension. Period. That's it. It ain't no way around it. Like, oh, I'm doing fine without it. Okay, well, you know, you got this 2001 Chevy 1500, and you haven't changed the parts out ever since you bought it. Good luck. It's a matter of time, and God be with you. But yeah, don't do it. I see a lot of trucks right now, like the truck I showed you earlier, the Ford F-150, not 2500. The F-150 had these 20 whatever on there with these big old tires. The front two tires just wobbling crazy. I'm like, my God, man, like, it's a matter of time for you. So don't do it. Don't get me wrong, it's fun, but you know, if you don't have a 4x4, don't do it, man. It ain't worth it. And at the end of the day, the more stuff you add to your vehicle, more custom parts you add to your vehicle, the more stuff that you got to get ready to start replacing. You know, because the more stuff is going to break. So the maintenance is going to go even high. It's going to go up. So you need to have some type of money, or you got to be a great mechanic. You know what you're doing. But if you're some regular guy who work at Taco Bell part time, and you save them for wheels and tires, you're gonna put it on your grandpa's 97 Bronco, and thinking that you're gonna be the big fish. Like, no, you're setting yourself failure, and it's so dangerous that you're doing that because you're doing it the wrong way. You need to go to professionals and have them install not only the wheel and tire, they gotta install. Listen, man, it's expensive. It really is. So like I said, getting the tires and getting the bling, that's just the beginning. But the stuff that goes behind the scenes is important, that keep you alive or not killing you or someone else or both. That stuff, you got to get that stuff taken care of also, man. The video's been going pretty long. I just want to give you guys a great detail about it. It's like, and I heard people in the comment section, years ago when I first started doing, customize the truck, I'm like, oh man, they some haters, whatever. I'm going to do what I want to do. And luckily, everything worked out for me. Nothing happened crazy. The front suspension, it got destroyed. But luckily, it wasn't nothing crazy. I was able to drive it to, my mechanic shop and get it repaired and stuff like that. But it was a costly expense that I wish I had never had to do again. But, it is what it is in life. You live, you learn. But for the people who's thinking about it, or the people who's in that position right now, don't do it, man. Get your 4x4, and you got to upgrade your front end suspension and all that stuff like that, man. So I know you don't want to hear that, because all the money you got right now is probably only going for that thing only. You only probably got enough for the lift kit and the wheel tires, and to be honest with you, if that's all you got, you don't need to be doing this. It's a whole nother ball game. Just because you got a truck, it's paid for, and whatever. But it's like, a lot of people rode around these old vehicles, and your maintenance is trash. You don't even change the oil on the regular. So what are you doing putting these, these 400 or 500 pound tires on your truck, man? And it's like, you got a V6, you know what I mean? Like, so you got a V6. It's a 1991 Tundra, Tacoma, whatever, if they made them in that year, and it's a 2-wheel drive, you know, your transmission going out, but you want to spend, you know, $3,000-$4,000 on some wheels and tires and a lift kit, but the truck is dying. You know, you take, you know, hey man, nah. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's all about just saving and putting yourself in the best position. Because at the end of the day, you know, you can put some nice wheels and tires in the truck, but the truck is trash. It's trash, man. I see it all the time. I'm not knocking nobody. My truck wasn't the best truck out there, but hey, it was nice. Trust me, it was like, you know, it was nice. You know, it just brought the old school back and did some upgrades to it. So it was nice, but you know, best believe I didn't have any problems with that truck while I was doing that. Even before I started doing the upgrades and stuff like that, it was running fine. I did everything I was supposed to do to it. Sorry about that, sweet guys. And I took care of all the mechanical problems and stuff like that if it had it, but I did my upgrades like I was supposed to, and it ran fine. But in the long run, you know, me continually getting bigger wheels and tires, it took a toll on my front end, and it just, at the end of the day, that truck was not made for that. But I rode it out there for, you know, about 2 years or whatever, and you know, I did my little my packages and stuff like that, and it was cool, but it wasn't made for that, man. Then once I found out I destroyed my front end suspension because of those big wheels and tires, I'm like, oh yeah, man. So next time in the future, I'm not gonna even mess with this stuff. So it's cool, you know, but at the end of the day, you don't want that to be your main vehicle anyway, you know, because that's like, you don't want to drive something like that every day. You know, I'm telling you something right now, the gas, oh my God, it's a V8 I had a V8, man. And then the thing about it, like, it took a while for, hey, I ain't get to change the gears out. I was going to do that last, but you know what, the truck is done, man. You know, it has a lot of miles on it. I had my fun with it. It's already, the maintenance starting to catch up, and it's like, I'm not going to keep fixing this vehicle. It's, you know, all right, whatever, it's not worth it. So but yeah, the gas mileage, man, that thing was crazy, because you know, I put my transmission, had to put in overtime to haul around that extra weight, the extra 400-500 pounds, close to 600 pounds of weight on a regular. So even though I wasn't going that far, but whenever I did go somewhere, I'm like, God damn, the gas almost gone. Then, you know, it's Texas is hot, got the AC on, you know, you got the AC on, it uses up more fuel. So you got the AC on, it's a V8, it's always hot in Texas, and you have an extra 600 pounds that your transmission got to pull whenever you go somewhere. So it just, that was it. You know what I mean? So I never really could keep gas in there like I could before. It took a long time for me to accelerate, because again, I didn't do the acceleration command thing. I was gonna do that too, but I like, you know what? By that time, once I had to get my front end suspension done again, I was like, oh, it's over with. I'm getting rid of it. You know, I just drove some more, a couple more months or whatever, 6 more months or whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's it, man. I just sold everything I had on there, and that's it. So back to stock, besides the lift kit, but whatever. I don't care about the lift kit. It's nothing. It's cheap anyway. But yeah, so that sucked. The gas thing sucked. Then the acceleration sucks. Okay, now I'm putting my transmission on in jeopardy. So it's a lot of stuff you gotta upgrade when you do stuff like that too. You just can't slap on a lift kit and wheels and tires and think that you're good to go. No, you gotta change out gears. You gotta upgrade the suspension. You gotta do all kind of stuff, man. So it's the beginning. It was cool for what they did, but you know, I wanted to go further with it, but it's like, at this point, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? So I'd rather get a newer truck and just get one that's already like that, or get a newer truck, period, and then, you know, add some type of upgrades to it. But I might not even do that, because I already had my fun with it. I don't want to just have to worry about that anymore, because, you know, it's fun and games until something breaks. It's all fun and games until something breaks. So you gotta, you know, and it's like, it was cool. I had my fun with it, but I'm okay. I'd rather get a newer truck and not, if anything, you know, really not do nothing to it, to be honest with you, man. Especially how these trucks coming out now, it pretty much everything you want to. Like the whole lift kit thing, that's cool, but it's like, I'm okay without it. If anything, I'll upgrade the tires, you know, get some better tires or whatever. I don't like those factory tires they have. When I get some all-terrain tires, little beefy tires on there. But other than that, that's it, man. So it was fun. It was fun while it lasted, but it costs money, man. Even the newer trucks, you know, something's still a break, because you putting aftermarket parts on there, which was made for. And of course, I had a rough country kit. You're gonna, you know, put your money, make it worth it. You know, spend the extra money to make it worth it, so you can have that longevity, you know, that actual craftsmanship, the quality was there. So make sure you spend extra couple of dollars to get, you know, the high quality stuff. It's that simple. That way, you know, it'll last you long. You won't have any problems, and it's just what it is. But something is bound to still break, regardless at some point in time. But then again, you don't want that to be your main vehicle anyway. But I'm gonna tell you before I end the video, because I already been long, it's going on 30 minutes. Before I end the video, if you don't have none of that stuff going on, if you're like, I want to get a lift truck, I want to do this. If you're gonna do this, you know, if you just say your money's good or whatever, that is specifically, do this, the minimum. And I might do this later on, I might not, I don't know. But I'm gonna get a truck in the future, another truck. Well, that's an SUV, but I'm gonna get a truck. But if you're gonna do that, listen, a lot of people won't hate me for saying this, but you're gonna need the minimum of $2,500. You're gonna need a diesel, not a $2,500 gas. You're gonna need a diesel to glide through them streets, and for your transmission to easily tow them, you know, the wheels, you know, and tires, no problem. You got the 4x4 going on. You got the 6.7 liter. Man, I'm talking about, you know, the big dog. You're gonna need one of those. And then, you know, this is my personal opinion, but I know after experiencing it, I didn't know. I'm like, whatever, it's gonna work. After experiencing that, I know for sure next time, like, bro, we made $2,500, whether it's a Chevy or Ford or GMC or whatever, $2,500, put your little lift kit on there, your wheels tire, you're gonna be A-okay. That's the best thing to do. That's the minimum. You should just automatically $2,500 the minimum for you to do something like that. That way you just good. Your transmission, you got a big motor, you're easily towing that around, no problem. So there you go. And especially if you know towing something already, so it won't be a problem. It's like you don't even have the extra weight on there. So it's perfect for something like that, $2,500 or up, of course. But if you go that route, like if I go back, in the future, if I do that again, it's automatically gonna be a $2,500. But I'm getting a $2,500 anyway. This is a truck I'm getting later on. So whether it's a Ford or a Chevy or a GMC or whatever, I don't know. But it's gonna be a $2,500 later on because I'm gonna be doing some towing and stuff like that. So, and I want something that can easily handle that. So, but yeah, that's something you want to do for people who don't have $2,500s, and you know, that's just, you know, riding some old vehicle or just a new vehicle that's not, it's a $1,500. If I was you, I'd take it off. And I know a lot of people's gonna get mad at me. So, I got a 4x4 $1,500. It's like, I mean, yeah, that's cool and all, but at some point in time, you know, you're going to have to change out that front suspension, homeboy, is what it is. So it's just an extra weight. So maybe you can change out the gear ratio. You got to do that anyway because of the lag. But if you have a $1,500 4x4, you'll be okay. But ideally, I would get a $2,500. But if you don't have a 4x4, you know, it's not even worth you doing it. It's not even worth the extra money you're going to put into it, knowing 6 months down the road that your truck is going to break down on you. So me personally, I will get a $2,500, and there you go. That's less stuff you gotta worry about. So anyway, the video's been going too long, and you guys take it easy, man. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any comments on if I was wrong, or if you have a $2,500, what's your experience? If you have a $1,500, you know, what's your experience? But if you have a two-wheel drive, you don't have to tell me nothing, because I already know your experience. I've been through there. So regardless of what you think you have, if it's a two-wheel drive, I know you ain't got to comment nothing. But if you have a $2,500, you know what I mean, or 4x4, $1,500, let me know, you know, what's your experience with it. But $2,500, the big dog, definitely get that. You won't regret it. But anyway, guys, until next time, you guys take it easy. God bless. And yeah, stroker. I'm out.